I've always been a little bit weird. I reuse what people usually throw out and I make what people usually buy. And somehow it saved us a lot of money every single year. I mean, we paid off our mortgage in 7 years. I'm not saying that this is the only tip to help pay off our mortgage. Having this mindset definitely helped. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 things that I do that doesn't cost a thing, or maybe it only costs pennies to make. Watch till the end because I have something to share with you guys. It's a project that I've been working on. Hi, my name is Christine and welcome to my channel. I talk about mindful, frugal living with a splash of eco-friendly. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. Whoop. I say I'm weird because my parents are from Mauritius. It's a tiny island in the Indian Ocean, and they came here to French Quebec, and we stood out. We stood out like a sore thumb. We looked differently, we talked differently, the interior of a house was very different. That's why I say we're weird. They live an underconsumption core lifestyle because they live in a tiny island and they had very limited resources, so they learned to stretch every single dollar, use every product till the very, very end. I live like this because of comfort. It reminds me of when I was living at home. I know a lot of people used to live like this in the past, but in 2026, it's very unusual. We have fast fashion, fast food, fast everything, and I like to dial it back to when life used to be a lot slower, when we used to buy things and appreciate them and use them till the very end. So that's why I'm doing this video. I want to show you things that I do that you people might think I'm living in the past. Sorry, I can't bring you anywhere else in the house. We are in renovations for the next few months, so everything in our basement is basically behind me over here. It's quite chaotic. So let's start the video. I just want to let you know that not everything I'm showing is something I picked up from my parents. Some things I learned on my own just through living life. I keep a lot of things in my freezer, including veggie scraps like carrot peels, onion peels, and all those good things like that. People usually throw it away, but I like to save it until I have a big bag, and then I put it into my Instant Pot and I make instant liquid gold. That liquid gold usually costs about $2 for a can in the grocery store. When I make a big pot, I get like 5 jars of it. So I'm making like $10 worth of liquid gold. I can use it in a lot of my stir fries and cooking and making soup. I like to keep some in my freezer so I have broth on hand all the time. Another thing I keep is apple cores and pineapple skins and fruit scraps in general. I ferment it and it becomes this yummy, delicious fermented drink. The pineapple skins one is called tepache. A follower told me to make it and it is so yummy. It reminds me of kombucha. And if you buy kombucha in the store, it's about $4 per bottle. You just produce it yourself when you make your own. And it is so good for your gut. No need to buy probiotic supplements. And if you ferment it even longer, it turns from alcohol to vinegar. That vinegar can be used for salad dressings. You don't need to buy salad dressing at the store that costs maybe $4 a bottle. You can also use the vinegar in baked goods, which I do a lot. It gives your baked goods more of a lift. Every almost finished container like this one, people usually throw out or wash out and recycle this, but there is so much left to it. Just add some olive oil, maple syrup, shake it all up, and you have instant salad dressing. Same thing with peanut butter jar when it's almost finished. We like to add oatmeal, a bit of milk and fruit, and you have overnight oats. Additionally, with hot sauce, I just put more vinegar and we have a more of a vinegary hot sauce that I like to add to my chickpea salad. So any of these containers that look like they're finished, they're not actually finished. Save them, just get every last drop, because in this economy, we can't be wasting food like this. Okay, I wanna show you something that people don't usually think about using. These bags that carry oranges or garlic or ginger, save them. Save them, they become instant free scrubbies for your dishes. If you buy scrubbies or like those sponges to wash your dishes, they're like $2 for 3. This is free. Now, same thing with any sturdy plastic bag. Let me get one. This had cashews, but now I have a free Ziploc. People don't usually like to put food in it because of the plastics, but you can put anything in it. Anything that you would use a Ziploc in. I don't mind. I keep my frozen foods inside and then I use it. Let me get it. An old dumpling bag turns into free storage for my apple cores. So don't throw them away. It's very easy to wash. Once you're done with it, wash it with hot soapy water and then just place it like a spoon, a wooden spoon, put it inside and let it dry like this. And it'll take a few days to dry. And then you have a free Ziploc bag. You don't need to buy any storage containers. They come usually very free when you buy jam or different things that come in jars like pasta sauce. You can fill them up and you have your own free little organizational storage containers that I like to keep nuts inside and anything like that. Same thing with gift boxes or any boxes. I like to store my shooting gear in a lot of the boxes. So any pretty box or any glass container is a free storage container for anything your heart desires. Don't mind the mess behind me, but I want to show you some things that I made from cut vegetables. Here are green onions. I cut the tips where there's little roots, put them in water, and they start to grow. When it's big enough, I put them in my garden and it grows all summer. I get endless supply of green onions. 6 of these stalks cost about $2. So I feel like I'm printing money at this point. I also do it with bok choy. And it works with lettuce too. So when it gets big enough, I cut it, I eat it, and it'll grow a second time. If you have space to put it in your garden, it'll grow even better. This way you can get some free food. We don't have Kleenex boxes in the house and we rarely use paper towels. Instead, I have a few things like this. And I store cloths in a little box. I use old cut up t-shirts that are really old. We're not gonna use them anymore. Instead of throwing them out, I cut them into small little squares. We use it to blow our nose or clean the table or use anything that you would use a paper towel or a Kleenex for. I also use any old towels and that can be used as cloth tissues instead. Kleenex boxes cost about $1.50 to $2 a box. Whenever we had Kleenex, we would go through a box so fast because they're thin and you have to use more than one. These ones are a lot thicker. You can use them many times and then I just throw them into my regular wash and put them back into the box. I'm not afraid to wear secondhand clothing. I'd say 90% of my clothing is secondhand, given to me by friends. Even my friends' kids, they don't want their clothing anymore. They're teenagers, so they give them to me because I'm 5 feet tall. Most of the time I wear kids sizes. I also go secondhand shopping just to treat myself, but I'm not buying clothing all the time. I probably go to the thrift store once a year. This one I got on sale at the thrift store for $2 over 10 years ago. Clothing lasts a long time. I don't feel the need to buy clothing all the time. When you buy secondhand, I find that you go with what you like instead of trends. When you follow trends, you end up looking like everyone else. Everyone is wearing the same baggy jeans and you just end up looking like them too. So follow what you like. In this era of my life, it's really about comfort. I hardly wear jeans. I'm usually in very stretchy pants. I'm usually in very loose shirts because that's what I like. It's not about dressing for other people at this stage of my life. It's really about dressing for my comfort and what makes me happy. Appreciating secondhand clothing is the way to go. Most people will spend $1,000 to $1,500 on clothing a year. That's a lot of money. I'd say maybe I'd spend about $25 to $50 a year buying secondhand pieces to add to my wardrobe. Some people may think it's weird, but it's the way I've always lived. I've always worn secondhand clothing from my cousins just because my mom would give them to me and she would ask for secondhand clothing for me, and there was no shame in that. I forgot to share you my outfit. As I said, this is secondhand for $2. The shirt that I'm wearing underneath to layer, I like mixed-matched prints. This is my friend's daughter's old shirt. And then the leggings are her leggings too. So there's no shame in wearing other people's clothing. It fits, it's clean, and I'll love it for many more years. I even wear my kids' old clothing. I added a pin to it to make it more me. This is an oversized hoodie. My boys are tall. They're taller than me. They're bigger than me. When their clothing, they don't fit, I like to wear them. It carries so many memories. I know they don't like it when I wear their old clothing. They think it's really weird. But to me, I just feel like I have a piece of them with me all the time. They're in school. One of them is in college. I don't see him as much. It's nice to think about him. Clothing holds memories. I don't need a new piece. I think that old pieces of clothing hold so much more value, and I'm saving a lot of money this way. It's better for the planet too. Well, I get something new when you have this. That means so much more to me than any other black hoodie. I know a lot of people who watch my short videos say, throw this away! All these tiny pieces of soap. I keep them. I don't throw any piece, tiny piece of soap. I will have a use for them. I don't use liquid shampoo soap. I use shampoo bars and they turn into little pieces like this. For body soap or hand soap, I keep it in a jar like this. And then when I have a lot, I put all the pieces in my soap saver bag. It has a rough texture, so it's a good like exfoliating your body while you're in the shower. And you don't have to spend money on this. You can also use an old pantyhose, just tie a knot. It's gonna foam up. This saves so many of these tiny pieces of soap from being thrown away. And then you let it dry and you use it the next day when you take a shower too. Exfoliate your skin, don't waste your soap. So these are not garbage. And for anyone who said to throw these away, I'm never gonna throw these away. Ooh. For shampoo bars, when they turn into those tiny pieces, I melt it down and I turn it into like a liquid soap or a paste. This one turned more into a liquid soap. It's very liquidy. And when I take a shower, when I wash my hair, I just put a bit of product on my hair and it's like liquid soap. Between uses, put it in the fridge though, because you're changing the formulation of the product. But this is good enough to use for like another 2-3 times. Don't waste your shampoo bar because it has more life to it. This is probably the weirdest thing I do. And it's the reason why I blew up on social media, is I make all of my makeup products and I make like 90% of my skincare products. I want to share the ebook that I'm finally launching with all of my recipes. I forgot how many recipes in total. I'll leave it over here. It took me a long time to write. I've been perfecting these recipes for years, about 15 years that I've been making my own. I wanted to share all of these with you because you've been asking me. I've been making my own because as I was acting, I started to get a lot of skincare problems like pimples and all, and I wanted to use natural products that don't break me out. So this is what I use. I use cocoa powder mixed with activated charcoal to make an eyebrow filler. I have just activated charcoal for a smoky eye. And for auditions, whenever I didn't want to be sweaty or look like I'm really nervous on camera, I would use this mattifying powder that is arrowroot powder, cocoa powder, and a lot of other ingredients. And I haven't had any breakouts. Everyone has different skin types, but for me, this really worked and I wanted to share it with you. I save a lot of money making my own products. I read that people spend about $1,000 to $3,000 on skincare, makeup. Making it yourself was really empowering, knowing what's in my body. I save a lot of money. It may cost more at the beginning because you're buying things in bulk. You're buying like shea butter, coconut oil, all these wonderful things. It may cost expensive when you see the bill because you're buying a big block, but you're making so many products out of it. Shea butter, you can make body butter with it. You can make a face cream, you can make deodorant. With those simple ingredients, most of the recipes are under 5 ingredients, are easy to make. I make my products for the family too. So the boys, they have their own natural deodorant made by me, and it saves them money. No plastic packaging, no ingredients that you can't really pronounce. And this way it's better for the planet, it's better for my body, and it's better for my wallet too. So if you want to check it out, my long videos right now are never sponsored. If you like the video, you want to purchase the book to see what's inside yourself, this really helps me out a lot. This is the way I live and love living. It helps me appreciate every single thing I have. Everything that you have that's in the life cycle, even mesh bags, took time and water to produce. We should cherish and really appreciate how it was made and try to see how we can extend everything's life. Either it be food scraps, it be clothes and pieces of anything, plastic, even glass, how we can extend its life to live to the fullest. I think appreciation and knowing that you appreciate things really helps live a frugal lifestyle. And living this way helps me be creative too. I think everyone should be creative every single day. And this allowed me to have that freedom to create while reducing waste and saving money. I live this way not to be perfect, but to lead a life that my parents did. And I do hope one day I'm modeling to my kids that you should cherish and enjoy everything you have to the very last drop. Let me know if you live this type of underconsumption core lifestyle. If you have anything to add to the list, I always love learning more and want to incorporate more of these tips. If you like this video, you may like the video of how my parents live an underconsumption core life or how I live my underconsumption core life. Remember, frugal living isn't about giving up joy, it's about making room for more of it.